Hey there, E here from eEats and Healthy Treats with day 34 of the last 40 days of summer with a new salad each day. Today's salad is authentic Kani Salad featuring Boston lettuce, snow crab, avocado, mango, panko, and sesame seeds with a spicy mayo. Let's get into it. I'll start today's salad with cooking the crab. I will be using my Instant Pot, but you can boil the crab in a stock pot with water for 5 minutes. To the stock pot, I've added a cup of water. I have my wire rack in the bottom to keep the crab off the bottom of the pan. I'll add the crab. I had to bend the legs a bit to get them off or get them to fit. If you're boiling the crabs, you may want to make sure you can fit them in the pot easily before adding the water and bringing it to boil. That way you're not struggling to get them into the pot that has hot boiling water in it. So I put the lid on and sealed it, and then I will set it to pressure for 2 minutes. In the meantime, I will make the dressing, starting with adding a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, then the sriracha, I'm adding a bit of soy sauce for flavor, followed by some mirin, and give that a good whisk to combine. I'll give that a quick taste to make sure it doesn't need anything. This is your chance to increase the spice level by adding some additional sriracha if desired. This one is very mild for those that need a little less spice. Next, I'll prep the avocado. I'll slice it in half, making my way around the seed. Then give it a twist to separate the halves. Then smack the seed with the blade of my knife to give it a little twist to break it loose. This one was in there really good, so I needed to readjust that knife because the seed was starting to break. This is a really nice looking avocado, the best I've had during this last 34 days. I'll peel the skin off both sides. After these are peeled, I'll slice them in about 1-inch strips, which will make about 4 slices per half. Then to the end piece, I'll cut it in half and then slice those both into cubes. Do the same for the regular slices and repeat this until the avocado is all cut up. So these will then get placed into a bowl and set to the side. For the mango, I'll slice off a chunk. I'll make a cut just offset from the center to avoid the seed. I did end up hitting the seed about halfway down, so I knew was right on the edge of it, so I sort of twisted the knife ever so slightly to move it over, and then was able to get past the seed. So taking this piece I cut off, I will peel it with a paring knife. I actually got this paring knife from sitting and watching a knife demo at either Costco's or a conference that I was at. For free, it's a pretty good knife. My other paring knives need some sharpening pretty bad, so I guess that's why I've been turning to this freebie. Get those peels cleaned up. And now I will take my box grater and I'm going to grate the mango on the larger side. That'll then get placed into another bowl and set to the side. To get most of the juice and remaining bits of mango, I'll use my French knife to sort of scoop it all up, so to speak, and then put it into the bowl. At this point, the Instant Pot went off. I usually let it naturally release for 1 minute, set my timer on the range so I don't forget about it. Once that time was up, I did a quick release by moving the valve to the open position. And once the pressure pin is down in the down position, I safely removed the lid. I then moved the crab onto my cutting board and let it cool while I finished prepping the last steps before tackling the crab. At the range, I have a non-stick preheated pan over medium-high heat, which I've added a tablespoon of olive oil. I'll add the panko to the pan and stay with it, moving it around constantly. I'll toast this for about 1.5 minutes.
Girls, are you helping?
Once it's toasted and slightly brown, I'll move it to a ramekin. Now for the time-consuming part, removing all the crab meat from the shell. This took me 35 minutes to do. Along with the time, crab is also expensive. So if you want to make this time and wallet friendly, use imitation crab. That's what you're gonna get in a restaurant unless you're paying a pretty penny for it. So don't feel like you have to use real crab meat here. I'm not an expert crab desheller here, but what I find to be the easiest on the legs is to start with the smallest end and pull at the first joint. Most of the time the meat comes from the second section straight out by pulling it. And then the longest piece is tender enough to slide a fork all around one side of the flat ends, ripping as you go, and then opening up and you can pull the crab meat out. Now that the crab meat is finally out of the shell, I'll add the spicy mayo to it. Then that will get mixed up really well. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it does coat everything. And I should have broken up some of the larger chunks of meat before adding the dressing, but I'll do that when I see a large piece here and there. To the mix, I'll add the mango in and lightly fold it in. It's time to dish this one up. I'll start by ripping up the Boston lettuce into pieces. Then I'll add a large helping of the crab mixture right in the center. Follow that up with half of the avocado because I am making 2 large salads here. And top that with some of the toasted panko. Lastly, sprinkle on some sesame seeds. Additionally, if you want to go an extra step above, you could add some Tbsp, which is fish eggs. I'll give this a taste now. Oh, so yummy. This was a top above what I've had at a restaurant. Of course, having real crab meat really helps. The dressing blended very well, and the added mango gave some extra depth of flavor. The Boston lettuce works really well, and the avocado gave some creamy texture and paired really well with the crab. Lastly, the crunch and the flavor from the toasted panko was excellent. I hope you'll give this one a try, even if you use imitation crab. Until later, be blessed and act with love. Enjoy!